success in the life, then everything we do in our life, even before, if we use method, right method, then success is guaranteed. So it was beautiful class that if we want success in the life, we have 4 subjects here. So the very first subject, in order to have powerful remembrance, then the first subject is knowledge. So it was nicely explained what actually knowledge means. So knowledge means, of course, when we have this first lesson, second lesson, other lessons. So one is we know that by knowledge, we understand by intellect. But the second is that we start to feel it. And something you feel, it remains longer time in you because you have experienced that. But it was very nicely put that knowledge means what actually? Knowledge means absolutely you clear about everything. And knowledge means you have light and might of knowledge. Imagine you have absolutely clarity about everything. And you are really, really very powerful. And third thing, it was saying that loveful. Because even in the world, we see lots of knowledgeable people. They speak very fluently what they want to express. But Baba says, what's the difference in spiritual studies? In spiritual studies, because we have meditation, so what we are saying, it becomes very experience oriented. And when you experience something, imagine that you experience the light of knowledge, you experience might of knowledge. But then you also experience love from knowledge. You experience what is love and love from knowledge. So that was a subject of knowledge. So subject of knowledge, when it's clear, then first of all that I experience, because if I don't experience, how I will make others experience. So the first subject is knowledge. And the second subject, it's meditation. So I was sharing that, the way the system is here, that if we follow that system accurately, according to the method, sometimes, yes, we have this routine to get up. But when I get up, did I get up in the right consciousness? Was I forcing myself, pushing myself? Sometimes, we have to do certain things and we push. And sometimes we know I have to get up. I don't want to get up, but I have to get up. So if I am doing something forcefully, then I'm not going to be very comfortable in that. So the method is, if I really want to get up very naturally, I want to get up. What is the method I have to use? What is the method I should use? I really want to experience And I want to get up, not by forcefully, not because of its routine or discipline. I want to get up. What is the method we have to use? Love by love. Love for something. Obviously. Mm, mm. What else? If I really want to have a very powerful experience in the morning hours, the best time, mm, foundation of the day, I really want to experience that. This morning or yesterday, who was asking question? Michael, about the checking, or I don't know, it was this morning, what to check in our chart. Because in our spiritual studies, this point is keep coming, keep your chart so you know where you are at. And so he was asking that, how can we do that? And one of the things which we have here, that every hour we have 1 minute silence. So we go deep. We finish our studies at 8 o'clock, and then 9 o'clock this music plays, then 10 o'clock, then 11 o'clock. So every hour we have traffic control. So what am I doing in that 1 or 2 minutes? Sometimes we observe that because it's a discipline. But what's happening there? Did I really become soul conscious? Did I really go beyond? Did I remember what was this morning's homework? What did I do in that 1 minute? If that 1 minute is used in the right way, it's like it will keep us charged until the end of the day. So, what am I doing there? I'm using right method. Yes, I have to. If I can sit, sometimes we can't sit. We are working or we're doing something, but still, behind my mind, it's a traffic control. So I want to experience something. What did I listen this morning? What is soul consciousness stage? What is the stage if I connect myself with Supreme? What is that experience? So when I go through like that throughout the day, and when the day comes to an end, okay, if I have checked every hour and then I check myself before I go to bed, and before I go to bed, I just put everything in front of Divine Supreme. Okay, whatever happened. Yes, we make mistakes, but if we spot it out, then that mistake, day by day, because sometimes it's a very strong, habit. It has become our nature to keep making mistakes, and we feel it's not right. We want to get rid of it. But what happens when we are checking very closely? We see this very, very closely. And then the result, day by day, you'll see the mistake will become lesser and lesser, and it will go away one day. But what happens end of the day? It's now, few hours. I'm not going to do anything. So I have cleared everything, because if I really want to make my morning meditation powerful, then it's very, very essential to clear everything before I go to sleep. I'm not sleeping with anything, what happened, worries, this, that, finish. What are you going to do now? If you're going to worry at that time, then sometimes people worry a lot what happens and what happens during the day. And sleeping with that kind of state, remember it is that and whatnot. And go with that uh, kind of, we go with that thoughts with the sleep, in the sleep, then what's going to happen? Subconscious mind, still it was working. Although physically I may sleep many hours, even after many hours, I feel so tired. Why is that? You had so many hours of rest, still you feeling tired, but subconsciously, I didn't sleep well because still something was going on. And sometimes dreams, it's sometimes such a dream because I didn't clear my day. So dream will appear in my sleep. And it really feels sometimes, what's this? So what happens? The method is, if I want to make my uh, morning hours powerful, then at night, finish. If you want to use some kind of music, meditation, commentary, use it. But before you go to sleep, very, very important to just those few hours. I finish everything. I don't want to go in the past. I don't want to go in the future. I just want to go beyond and I want to sleep. You will have quality of sleep. It's like recharging. So why we sleep? Because we really want to get up fresh in the morning. And why that's not happening? Because there's so much in my head before I went to sleep. So we suggest that if you really want to have a powerful meditation in the morning, absolutely go beyond. Few hours sleep is enough. Our first meditation starts at 4 o'clock. But we want to get up. We really want to experience that power of meditation. And it's like, yes, actually, it's the most powerful meditation. We want to go into soul world and experience the beauty of that world, sweetness of the silence, deep silence, very, very powerful silence. Because you're experiencing that, so you don't want to miss it. I don't remember missing my morning hours for a long, long, long time. Because it's such a powerful meditation. It's set up for what's going to happen throughout the day. Throughout the day, that feelings will be there. If I had very powerful meditation in the morning. So very, very important. What happens when we do something for some period of time? It becomes natural habit and you want to do it. So that's very, very important to have such a powerful morning meditation. How many of you are doing morning meditation? You? Well, I'm not saying that start at 4 o'clock, but I would suggest whatever time you're getting up, 10 minutes before your time. So you're not rushing, you know, because the time of foundation, imagine you are starting your day with rushing, rushing, rushing. Throughout the day, you will be rushing, rushing, rushing. And you don't want like that. You want to enjoy everything what you do. So don't start your day with rushing, rushing, rushing. And then second, it was spiritual studies. We have everyday spiritual studies, and we really, really enjoy. So method is that feel yourself. You are a student again. You're a spiritual student. Uh, when um, I was little, and when we used to go to um, study, it was very disciplined, very disciplined, very disciplined school. You have to come half an hour before because it used to be prayer. Mm. So you have to start. I don't know whether that happens in the schools or, but our school was very, very disciplined school. And you have to start with prayer. If you don't start with prayer, there was little kind of punishment. And then the teachers, mm, they have to be well disciplined, well behaved, well behaved. Mm. Actually, they were invited from India, Brahmin teachers. In olden days, only Brahmin teachers, even the Lokik studies. Mainly, it used to be Brahmins. Now it's anyone. So Brahmins means ones who are living clean, pure life. And their characters, their behavior, it used to be very, very good behavior. So very important that when I go for study, and it feels so good. It doesn't matter what age you have, but you are a student again. So in Brahma Kumaris, long life student. Our Dari Janki was 104. Imagine. And she wants to study every day, and she wants to teach every day, up to the last day. In her last day, very last day, last night, I would say. And because age is age, but she never felt that age. And everybody thought now she's getting better and better. We were getting news she's getting better. And at night, around about 10 o'clock, she finished that reading, the spiritual studies. And it used to be very big papers because her vision was bit. So it was big, big writings. And she's sitting here, tiny little Dari, and she's reading, it's behind the paper. So she was enjoying so much. Each and every, she used to enjoy so much. I've stayed with her, the way she used to enjoy reading spiritual studies, which we have every day. And even I was staying with her. It's 11 o'clock, Daddy. Now it's time to go to bed. This is so nice. This is so nice. She's absolutely absorbed in studies. So we have to say it's enough now. So then she used to go to bed, and she goes to bed just like that. So in her last night, who knew after a couple, 3 hours, 3.5 hours, she will be gone. So she went to sleep, and something happened at 1 o'clock. Nicely gone. Nice way to go. But why that happened? That her ending was so good, so good throughout her life. Everything, everything, everything. The way she used to think, according to spiritual studies, according to method. What she was saying, the words she was using, she was only using what right word is, no extra. Very, very essential. Any kind of action she was performing, she was teaching us that when you sit and eat, eat with so much love in silence. Enjoy each and every bit of your bite. Don't talk. And whether she's drinking water, enjoying each and every sip of water. When she's walking, I used to go for a walk with her fast. I hold the hand and she walk fast. She's walking so much connected with self and with above. And she's spreading peace wherever she's going. Throughout the day, sometimes she says that, because she was head of the organization, sometimes she has to write something, she has to sign checks. She will give pause. Anything she was doing throughout the day. It was so much according to the method. And that's why, imagine she came to London in 74, in tiny little 2 rooms. That was our first center outside of India. And she started there. And the way she did, Dr. Nirmala was there when she arrives, and she's asking, who's going to come for early morning hours meditation? Who's going to come here for early? Such a cold, in those days, it used to be very cold. Nobody comes here. And then, who's coming for the class? Daddy, nobody comes for the class here. And then she says, well, I'm going to have morning meditation at 4 o'clock. Whoever wants to come, they can come. There will be class 6:30. So you call whoever you want to call. And there were few students at that time. And so Dr. Nirmala is calling some students. No, we can't come that early. One of the persons said, okay, I'll come, but you wake me up. You phone me. In those days, it used to be those phone, we used to keep. So then she used to phone, and this is how actually 2 or 3 started to come. And then it started to increase and increase, and that little place became very busy. So anything, you follow the method, success will be there. And then, that place became small, 74 and 75 somehow. The house which was next to that, it was on for sale. Now we have to buy this. Now we have got so many. You have just arrived and we don't have anything. Oh, it will happen. She was so courageous, so determined. And when you're determined and when you're doing right thing, result will be there. Imagine in those days, we got that house, I think it was 11,000 pounds. And now that one house is million. They are not big houses, but London is very expensive. And then one we rented, that also we bought. So those 2 houses, and that became small. And then we have to go into another one, and that became small. And then we have to go somewhere else. And now we have got very big place. Not only that, she created such a beautiful meditation room. Beautiful meditation room. And morning hours, room used to be full. because it was such a powerful silence, very powerful, sweet silence. So room will be full. And then she, whenever she had a time, she was very busy actually. But whenever she had a time, she'll spend lots of time in meditation, and then she will give classes and meditation, and she was cooking, she was doing everything. Mm. And then from that little place, after 4 years, she got residence of UK, and so she can travel now. The amount of traveling she has done, it's unbelievable. Unbelievable. She had a mission. This is I want to do. What I have experienced. She had so much love for humanity, so much love for humanity. I want to serve humanity. So anything we do according to the method, success will be there. And when she left, which was 2020, so this was fifth year, huh? Time goes so fast. So when she left, it was at least 120 to 30 countries. So if we really want to achieve something, then it's achievable. But if we use the right method, then everything is possible. But what happens actually in studies, spiritual studies? Our study this morning was a very, very powerful study. That what happens in the study, whatever we have carried from the past for many, many, many births, there is that heaviness on our head. We all feel, what's this? What's this? So by studying and meditating, it becomes lighter and lighter and lighter. It's like I'm clearing something. And imagine when you have cleared something very big, you feel so light. And so one starts to feel very, very light. And when we are light, we can imbibe knowledge very easily. When you are heavy, everything becomes difficult. So, so knowledge brings, meditation becomes very, very powerful. And what happens, because when we do homework, knowledge starts to become part of our life. It's not just, you know, talking about peace, but it's experiencing depth of peace, experiencing depth of love, whatever attributes of the self. When we start to experience that, then in today's study, your manners should be spiritual manners. What is spiritual manners means? What is spiritual manners means? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Patience.
Patience. Hmm? Kindness. Hmm? And once we had, we say virtues. It was over 100. Who's going to remember over 100 virtues? And then it came to 56 or something like that, and we still have those somewhere. And then it came to 36. 36 also is too many. So actually, when we study and we need silence period, And what happens in that silence period, which we call introspection or introvertness, which is very, very important, you know. And what happens in that introvertness, what I have listened in spiritual studies, I'm thinking that over and over and over, which we call churning. We're going depth of everything. And when we go depth of everything, what we are studying, it starts to become like soul conscious becomes very practical. It becomes part of the life. Going beyond and connecting with the Supreme, it becomes part of the life. But all this happens in introvertness. And when we really become soul conscious, what is the result that I will feel? Then I'm really, really soul conscious. One thing is, yes, I will experience attributes of the self. But second thing, in our study, every day there is that body consciousness, soul consciousness, body consciousness, soul consciousness. But with soul consciousness, one starts to become really, really humble because there is no ego. Body consciousness creates all different kind of egos. Soul consciousness, ego finishes. Deeper we go into soul consciousness, there is no ego. And imagine if somebody is egoistic, do you want to go to that near to that person? You say bye from far. But you don't want to go near that person. So humbleness, actually, spirituality means humbleness. Very, very important attribute or virtue, I would say. And third, by regular studying, it's a great result. Result of what? It's like you come to know deep aspect of spirituality and you become so mature. You know, our first head of the organization, she was only 16 when she came. She was studying in Mumbai, actually, in convent school. So she used to speak English. And somehow she has to come back to Hyderabad. So, but age of 16, she comes when this organization started. And in 18 months, it's a year and a half, so she was 17 and a half. She becomes head of the organization, mother of the organization. But there was so much maturity. She was not looking for spirituality. It's somehow that her mother and two aunties were following and they wanted her. So they politely said, do you want to come? To just respect them, okay. And she started to understand. Her intellect was very sharp. There were others who were coming for some time, but she understood very quickly. And then she decided, this is my life. So imagine, there were others who were quite older than her. Her mother, her two aunties. And she became really, really such a powerful, she was really knowledgeable. The way she understood knowledge and when she explained the knowledge, it was amazing. So, student life is the best. She was number one student. Founding father, he was experienced man. He was also a student. But this was only 16. One was 60 and one was 16. Like a granddaughter. But really, she was such a number one student. But then when she became head of the organization, it wasn't kind of head, but like a mother of the organization. And initial, there were about 385 members, and they all got together. And she was actually giving advice, direction when they want to ask her something. So easy, like mother. Everybody used to go to her, like we used to go to Daddy Janki. Mm. So again, so knowledgeable, so knowledgeable. And then when we experience soul consciousness, what is other results? Peace, yes, and happiness.
Sensible.
Mhm. You know, one of the thing about soul consciousness, you will never have a fear of death. Biggest fear in the world is of death. Here we say, you leave one body, you're going to take another one. No problem. So there is no fear of death. Do you all have fear of death? Fear of death? But really, two things happens when we start to implement spirituality in life. Our karma becomes so good. Karma in a sense of thoughts level. Thoughts, words, actions, all this is karma. And when we perform such elevated actions, we start to become so light, even the time comes that I have to go. I feel very good. I've done whatever I needed to. I'm going with so much lightness. Because another thing, what happens where you are going, that also becomes very clear. Why there is a fear of death? What's going to happen afterward? But here we say, if present is good, present follows future. So present 100%. So no fear of death. Very, very important. And when we really go into depth of studies, what happens? If you see the students who are really, really studying so well, what do you see in them? What do you see in them? Discipline, concentration. You know what their aim is. You start to see, although they haven't received graduation or certificate, but they are 100% sure they're going to make it. And because they have put so much effort in that, they know they're going to pass it. And the ones who haven't done it, what they're going to feel. What they're going to feel. So here we are studying spirituality. And the spiritual attributes. And today, one of our aspect was of honesty. You're so honest, so honest. So much spirituality is felt from you. So much humbleness is felt from you. And because you're going deeper and deeper and deeper, your face becomes really, really, as somebody says, happy. So cheerful, so cheerful. There is a saying, the deeper you go, the deeper you go, the deeper happiness you will experience. And sometimes, yes, we do study, but only on superficial level. Deeper we go, we see the result of that. What is the other result of the studies? Spiritual studies.
I change inside. I see the world differently.
You see the world differently. Lots of changes in the self. What else? You can tell the ones who are in front of me.
Those around me will be affected, says Jeanette.
Yeah, I think you start making change. As you know, we read like, in order to make change in the world, you need to be a change. I always used to think about that all the time, that what change me as an individual can make. But when you connect yourself to spiritual study, you actually experience that with clarity, that how, by being there, how your response to some of the things are different. And in the little workplace, because the response is different, so the others are not getting affected by that, because you're, whatever you're saying, you're conscious about it because of the spiritual study, and you're actually making a change.
With spiritual studies, you're right. There's lots of satisfaction. Imagine when you are content, satisfied. Because when there is fullness, you start to feel the fullness of knowledge, fullness of virtues, fullness what I need, powers, different powers in the life. So when there is fullness, when there is something empty, then something is missing. But contentment. Contentment is such a big virtue in the life. So you start to feel a sense of contentment. Very, very important. So these are some, actually, there's more, but it's like day by day by day. As I say, final certificate, it's final stage is final stage, but you start to experience your final stage before you get to final stage. So it's very, very important. So divine virtues. And one of the things which we were studying in today's this morning, that imagine when you're receiving so much, what do you want to do?
You want to share.
You want to share. Again, bringing up Dadi Janki, the way she wanted to give everything. Knowledge is one thing because that was her habit. But she just wants to give. Whether it's one person, everything. She was receiving a lot. Everything she was receiving a lot. Because one of the things about spirituality, when you don't want anything, then everything comes to you. When you're running behind something, things run away from you. And we see very practical examples in the world. You're just so passionate about something. You want this, that, and it's not achievable. When you're content, everything comes. Everything, whatever is necessary, but you don't keep it. Why are you going to keep it? How much you need? So it's serving, 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 serving through mind, serving to everything what you have. And this is what she has done throughout. What comes here, it goes. What comes here, it goes. Anything. If you keep it, it's not going to grow. But when you use it, then everything is going to grow. Everything, the more you even start to share the spiritual wisdom, you will see yourself how wise you are becoming. You're sharing peace, how peaceful you're going to become. You share love, how loveful you're going to become. So it's not giving, actually. It's receiving, receiving, receiving. Very important. So you just want to share, share, share what you have received. Your life becomes life of service. It's not you find a specific time, but even in your dream, you are serving. Again, bringing Daddy Janki. Even in her dreams, she was serving, giving sweets.
Hands would move in her sleep. She gave so much totally to people. In her sleep, she would totally.
Yes.
Wow.
Because, when we used to go to see her off at the airport, we have to take that big box of Tolly. So, of course, we are there, but then she's seeing others. So, others will come. So, she'll give blessing, she'll give book, she'll give.
People at the airport.
Once it was August time, and somehow she had to go to India. And it was Air India. Air India mainly it was, Indians at the counter. And they all knew that Daddy will come and will get Tolly, so they used to wait. So she's calling everyone. I'm going to tie rakhi on you. She tied rakhi on everyone, all the staff. They were so happy Daddy tied rakhi on. Of course, so special. She won everyone's heart. Everyone's heart. Amazing, amazing, amazing. Such a great fortune to see her and be with her. Thank you.
Wonderful examples, Maniben. I feel like we got to be with Daddy Janki and some of the seniors that are so important here in the Brahma Kumaris, and hopefully some of you felt the vibes of those special ones out there online. But a wonderful summary of the four stepping stones in a way to spiritual, well, to success is the right methods. And you've given us four right methods, as I can recall. Does anyone remember? So we've got our spiritual study. So getting good input, but doing more than just pleasing the ears. Oh, wasn't that a beautiful line? Oh, I love this line. It's more like, no, sit with that line and actually soak it in and let it affect you, right? So spiritual study and the discipline and the regularity of it, the meditation, the connection with self and with God as a way to really recharge the soul and keep the battery charged so I can, make it through my day in the right state, but then clearing, always clearing before sleeping. So anything that's not in the right state gets cleared out so I can sleep well. It's very nice. And then the 100 and whatever virtues that shrinks to 56, that shrinks to 36, what makes it easier for us. But really soul consciousness, and then the spiritual manners of humility. Very beautiful, isn't that? And then the last one, the service, of course, just overflowing. If we're naturally overflowing, if we're full ourselves. I think it was Sister Janti that said recently, service is just overflow.
Yeah.
Which I thought was great because it's coming from inside of us.
Yeah.
If I'm full, then everything just flows out naturally. I'm not doing, I'm not giving, I'm just overflowing, which is very nice. So I wonder if any comments from anyone out there, any question or any just we'll ask Maniben to do a short little meditation, and then she's going to give you all toli in your mouths. So you're going to have to open your mouths. We have very special toli for you, for those who are not here in the center. And like the mother bird giving it to the little baby birds, just give it to you online. But I see, Terry, you might want to unmute and say something. Do you? Go ahead.
Yeah. No, thank you very much for this and for last night. It was very beautiful. Um, I recently read this quote that I'm curious about. It said that the law of grace is stronger than the law of karma. I was just wondering if you had an opinion about that.
The law of grace.
The law of grace,
is
being
greater
gracious,
than the law of karma.
is stronger than the law of karma.
Well,
It's true.
It's true.
Yes. Because whatever karma we have created in our journey, when we have grace, that's going to be finished.
Mm,
so
thank you.
stay in the light. Stay in the light of
Mm.
God. Stay in the grace so that
Yeah.
it can wash away the karma. Lovely.
We all come to spiritual life and we have things from the past. But because of that grace, look what we are at. If it wasn't grace, what was going to happen? So I agree with that 100%. Mm. Om Shanti. I, the soul, sitting behind the forehead, going deep within myself. I start to feel so light, so peaceful, so calm, so relaxed. With these feelings, I feel so loveful, so blissful. My mind is so light. My heart is full of love. With these feelings, I can go beyond everything. I reach to the land of light, land of freedom, the land I feel where I belong. In this land, I connect my heart, my mind with Comforter of Heart. I feel I have come back to my real self, the place where I belong. To whom I belong. I feel so pleasant, so comfort. This is my eternal connection. I, the eternal being, connect with the eternal. The feelings is so soothing, so pleasant. With these feelings of lightness, love, freedom, charged, when I come back, I feel like pure, beautiful child of God. My feelings, my attitude, my presence is so divine. And I spread that vibrations, what I experience. Om Shanti.